Hello and welcome back. I'm Christian and I'm here with a follow-up to my video of the other week where I was putting the Vortex Razor Gen 2 on my Bergara HMR 6.5 Creedmoor. I won't go into many details because I covered it all in the other video, but I had a fail on the scope that used to sit on this rifle, not a Vortex, another brand. I reached out to, I reached out on social media just about the problems that I was having, and Chris at Vortex Optics UK got in touch with me and offered to lend me this very nice Vortex razor, just so that I could shoot a precision rifle match that's coming up in the following weekend. So I'm out today having mounted the scope on the rifle to, first of all, bore sight downrange at 100 meters. We're then going to get the scope zeroed for the rifle at 100 meters, and then we'll just take it back a couple of 100 meters as well and just check that the dope's still okay, which I'm not expecting it to do. Nothing will have changed with the velocity of the rifle. I'm still shooting the same S&B 6.5 Creedmoor 142 grain cellular and bellet. So yeah, bit of an interesting system on this scope actually. It's already set at 0, and rather than slipping this outer sleeve on the elevation and the windage turret, what you've actually got to do is slip the mechanism inside this sleeve so that it's set at 0. Vortex provides you with a tool for the job. So let's get started. Starting with the elevation, we're just going to spin off the top cap. It's quite a nice tool, this actually. It's a combination of metal and plastic, so it won't mar the finish on the scope. Let's get the windage cap off as well, so we're ready to go. Yeah, and as you can see in here, already set at 0 on the dials, but like I said, these are the actual dials that you need to turn when setting up your 0. So we need to take the little hex wrench that we've got here, and without removing the grab screws, whatever they're called, we just need to loosen off the outer sleeve from the internal mechanism. That one was already a little bit loose, and then that should now, let's have a look, there's a little flathead screwdriver here that just slips down inside there. Yeah, and that's moving independently now of the outer sleeve of the elevation turret. So let's do the same on the windage. That one was nice and tight. Should be another one under here. Not at the best angle for this, so please forgive me. There should be one more that I'm missing under here. Found it. Right, let's get that one. Right, so again, same thing, using the flathead screwdriver. Yeah, again, that's loose now. Okay, so next stage, get behind the rifle, take the bolt out, bore sight to the paper target, the still targets that I've set up down there. Then we'll check that we're on paper with one round, and then we'll try and zero it with one further round, and we're done. And then we'll shoot a group just to confirm. Okay, so get behind the rifle. Okay, so now we've got the scope ready, we need to begin bore sighting. Now, the trick with bore sighting is, first of all, make sure that you've got nothing in the way of your bore. And what you want to be doing is getting the rifle pointing downrange at your target, and you need to make sure that you've got a very, very stable bag at the rear, because what you need to be able to do is you need to be able to look down the bore, frame the target centrally in your bore, and then make sure your rifle doesn't move. And that's why this is important, because what you're going to then be doing is you're going to be lifting your head from your bore up to your scope, checking where your crosshairs lie, and then you need to be making the adjustments on your scope to bring the crosshairs in line with the centre of the target. And it's crucial that you don't move the rifle during that process. Okay, so look down the bore and we pick up the target. Can be a bit tricky at first. If this gets a bit boring, if it starts to take me a bit too long, I can always edit out the uninteresting bit. Okay, so there's my target. Okay, and that's framed very well by the bore, I think. Looks central. It's not moving. So I'm just gonna come up to the scope. Okay, so looks like we're not very far off. So again, we're not going to move the outside turret, the sleeve of the turret. We're just going to adjust the inner mechanism using the tool that Vortex supply. So let me just find the groove. Which is a bit awkward from this angle. I just cannot get it. Let's have a look. There it is. Right. Let's just make sure I haven't moved anything. No, that's still on. Okay, that's in the same place. Okay, so that's central. Let's just check the bore. Yeah, that's still on. Looking okay. So now we need to move over to the side, because I do need to move the crosshairs over ever so slightly. There we go, found it. I think I've disturbed the rifle. No, we're still good. Okay, that should be it. So let's get loaded up. Okay. All right. That's 0.5 high and about 0.3 over to the right. So, zeroing on the second shot, what I'm going to do now is I'm going to leave the crosshairs on the centre of the target where I was originally aiming, and then I'm going to adjust the crosshairs so they come up and meet where my first bullet actually impacted. So just like with bore sighting, it's very, very important to make sure that you keep the back of the rifle stable so it doesn't move. So I'm just going to position the rifle on the target so it's all nice and stable. Okay, that's good. So we take the tool again, find the groove. Let's hope I can find it a bit. There we go, found it a bit quicker this time. And we're just going to move the crosshairs up 5. like that. And then we just need to come across like that. Okay, now that should be the rifle zeroed, so let's, because I'm shooting steel, what I'm actually going to do is I'm going to send another round at the first round. Use that as my aiming point. And that's on top of the first round. Beautiful. Yeah, zeroed in 2 shots. Right, let's take our tool again from Vortex. Tell you what, this ground is really stony. I'm really appreciating the knee pads in these trousers. Okay, let's have a look. So what we need to do now, because the outer sleeves, like I say, are already positioned at 0, and they've got a 0 stop at the bottom here. Okay, so all we need to do now is just lock these grub screws down. And what you do is, on the first turn, you just make sure that you're just lightly touching the inner mechanism. And once all the screws are lightly touching the inner mechanism, that's when you then just apply a bit more pressure to just nip them down a little bit, so it's holding on nice and tight. Okay, that's done. Okay, great. Tighten them down a bit further. Tighten off the top ones a bit more. Perfect. And the actual adjustment, we had to bring the crosshairs up 2.9, and this one moved over 1.3. So that was the adjustment that we had to make from the factory setting. Okay, so then we take our caps, and it looks like if I had mixed them up, it doesn't matter because they both look exactly the same as the other. There we go. Okay. Lovely. Right, great. And I think we've got, yeah, we've got five clicks down, and then obviously this one is free rotating, so excellent, all sorted out. Perfect. Right, I think what we'll do now is we'll shoot a group. Lovely. That's how you boss out a rifle. it.